Shazam, was it any good? Does it feel like a Marvel or a DC movie? And where does it fit within the DCEU? All that and more coming right up. Before we get into it, help my channel pick up some steam. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and then share. First and foremost, Shazam is a movie about family. Billy Batson, who's played by Asher Angel, was actually just okay for me. He's a foster child who's been bouncing from foster home to foster home until he lands in the home of the Vasquezes, headed by Jerry from The Walking Dead and his wife Rosa. There, he meets Freddie Freeman, the hypochondriac from It, played by Jack Dylan Grazer, who was awesome. He knocked it out of the park. I love this kid. The movie does an outstanding job at developing the characters, getting us to care for them, and then smoothly ushers us into the point to where Billy Batson meets the Shazam wizard and he gets his powers. And Djimon Hounsou was perfect as the wizard. So Billy Batson meets the wizard, he gets his powers, and then turns into Zachary Levi in that ridiculous Shazam costume. And to all of us who thought, what the hell, when we seen the first photos of that costume, we were right. It looks ridiculous, but it works because the movie is self-aware and it actually uses that ridiculous costume for good comedy. This movie had like a big meets Christopher Reeve's Superman vibe to it, and Zachary Levi kills this role. I believe hook, line, and sinker that Zachary Levi in this film is a 14-year-old teenager. He really dug deep down and pulled out his teenage self for this. And what Freddy and Billy Batson or Shazam do once Billy reveals himself to Freddy is exactly what you would expect teenagers to do if one of them found out that his friend is a superhero. Together they explore the extent of his superpowers and it makes for an amazingly great time. Still though, it does kind of drag a little bit at this point. Like, I think this part could have actually been better served through like a montage that just lasted a few minutes. Entertaining as hell, but a bit stagnant. Once we get past this though, it's a smooth ride. What about our villain, Dr. Savanna, played by Mark Strong? He was alright. Their fight was so fun to watch. At times it reminded me of Man of Steel, Superman vs. Feora or Zod, and it was just a blast. And not as serious in tone, and smaller in scale too. And although this movie doesn't quite feel like an MCU movie, it does feel like it leans more towards feeling like an MCU movie than a DCEU. Like, you can actually feel tonal similarities with movies like Ant-Man, but it's like kid heavy, because remember, it has that Tom Hanks big vibe to it. And remember, Ant-Man is played by Paul Rudd, who himself feels like an adult child. So you see what I'm talking about, the tonal similarities? And while Shazam is definitely its own film, it does a great job at letting us know that it's within the DCEU. It has some cool little nods to the DCEU. There's one particular scene that I can't talk about because there'd be spoilers that firmly cements its place within the DCEU. And even though, like I've said, it's really tonally different from the other DCEU movies, once Shazam is introduced to the other characters, it can work. Just the way the MCU was able to merge films with completely different tones. And I'm talking about films like Captain America 2 and 3, Thor Ragnarok, and then you got Infinity War, who brought all these characters and tones together, including Guardians of the Galaxy, gave us a more somber tone, and it worked amazingly. They just need to make sure they do it with love, passion, and pride for the material. It can be done. Please, Warner Brothers, hire the right writers and directors. So as I've said, this film is a great time. It's a blast, but it's not a perfect movie. I already talked about how it drags a little bit in the power exploration part. And there's a couple things more. I think that the film could have definitely benefited from creating a deeper connection, or even a connection period, between Billy Batson and the wizard. Because what happens is Billy Batson just meets the wizard gives him his powers, and that's done. This movie could have been so much better if Billy Batson and the wizard had like a Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi type of relationship. Then the villain, Dr. Savanna, he was forgettable. It worked for the movie that we got, but two things with Dr. Savanna. One, there's no connection between the villain and the hero. One thing that makes villains great is the connection between them and the heroes. Think about the connection between Joker and Batman, between Thanos and Tony Stark, and even Thor, between Thor and Loki, and of course between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. The other weakness of the villain were his powers besides the super strength and punchy powers. His magical powers, so to speak, that I can't really get into without going into spoilers. How would I rank it within the DCEU? I gotta say that for me, Man of Steel, and then Wonder Woman, and then Shazam. However, I think I gotta watch Shazam some more, and Shazam can possibly surpass Wonder Woman, but I don't think there's a chance it can surpass Man of Steel for me. I'm gonna agree with my favorite movie reviewer, Jeremy Johnson, and I'm gonna say that Shazam is worth buying and watching on Blu-ray. However, here's the difference with me. It's worth buying and watching on Blu-ray once it goes on sale. Like, not for that $25 plus, but when it's for sale for like 15 bucks. Alright geeks, if you enjoyed my review and you want to watch some more geekfully awesome content, make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you always know when I upload new videos, and make sure you watch watch some more of my videos like right now. Peace out.